Welcome back. You're watching Prime News on HLN. All right, Casey Anthony's lawyer, Jose Baez, has a little explaining to do. Tomorrow, he has to tell the judge exactly how Casey is getting the money to pay for this legal dream team that she's assembled. Lawyers, experts. Casey's charged again with murdering a cute little daughter, Kaylee. The 2-year-old disappeared last summer. Casey has no money, lived with her parents. Now she has 8 lawyers, experts. Some worked on the OJ case, Phil Spector. So we've asked this before. We'll ask it again. The judge's going to ask that. How does Casey Anthony afford this? Joining me now to talk about this, we'll welcome back Mark Eiglarsh. There's Pam Bondi. She's joining us as well. There's Mark. Also with us, Marvin Hinton, reporter of WDVO Radio in Orlando. And we have our Prime News law enforcement analyst, Mike Brooks, with us as well. All right, Mark, let's start with you. What do you think is going to happen with this hearing tomorrow? We talk about where's she getting the money?
I think the judge absolutely needs to take Jose Baez in his office alone. You don't have to have the media there. You don't even have to have the court reporter. And make a determination in camera, ex parte, without everybody there, and say, all right, Jose, just let me know so I can announce to the world that there is nothing problematic with this arrangement. And we don't have to... I'm sorry, you can hear me or not?
No, we got you. Go ahead, Mark.
Great. There's nothing, the judge has to make that finding. We don't take Jose Baez's word that there's nothing improper about this. It's kind of like letting basketball players call their own fouls, or charges. You need a neutral magistrate to say there's nothing improper, and if there's nothing improper, then that's okay. There won't be an issue on appeal.
Yeah, a judge's job right there. Marva, is this going to be the bulk of things tomorrow? What else do we have on the docket?
As of right now, that's all we've heard.
Anything on the, we talked a lot about the tapes of Casey's reaction to when Kaylee's remains were found, Jose Baez's reaction as well. That's not going to be discussed tomorrow.
As of right now, this is the only thing on the docket. We have seen in the past, sometimes it changes at the last minute. We receive an email notification from the court. I have not received anything as of right before we went on the air.
Okay, gotcha. Let's bring in Pam Bondi. I guess so, Pam. The only issue on the table, as Marvin was telling us, is going to be talking of the judge finding out where's she getting the money. How do you see this playing out? Mark says, I'm not sure if you heard, that Jose Baez should be pulled aside by the judge and say, hey, come clean, so I can tell everybody everything's on the up and up. Is that the way you think it's going to play out? Or do you think we're going to have an open hearing here with a Q&A with the judge to find out that way?
No, that is exactly how it should play out. I couldn't hear Mark, but for once I think I agree with him. That's how it should play out. If you read his objection to the motion, it's ridiculous. All it is attacking these good ethical prosecutors, full of speculation. All he needed to say was, I am not getting paid by the media to represent her, period. But he completely dances around that issue in his objection. And that's all he needs to come in and say, and the issue's done.
Right.
And the reason the prosecutors care about this is because down the road, they're going to have to deal with post-conviction motions where he possibly, if he's getting paid by the media, he very well could have a conflict of interest unless she comes in and waives that conflict.
He's getting paid by this anonymous benefactor, because that was always the speculation before. When she was bonded out the second time, it was anonymous benefactor, and then they said it's also the money for this trial could be from an anonymous benefactor. It's not from a bake sale, that's for sure.
Hey, Mark, she signed let me make this point clear. Didn't she sign an affidavit saying Jose Baez can't sell my story?
She said that, but I wouldn't give that any weight at all.
Okay.
I'd give it the same weight all of her other statements. I do disagree with one thing that Pam did say. I don't think it hinges upon whether Jose Baez says in an affidavit or in a motion, everything's fine, there's no conflict of interest. I still think you need to protect the record here. Prosecutors like Pam make sure that this isn't just about getting a conviction, it's about getting it upheld on appeal. Why not have it on the record that there's been a finding that there's no problem whatsoever, and we don't let Jose decide whether there's a conflict. He has a conflict making that decision.
Hey, Marva, what is the speculation, or when we ask the question, how's Casey Anthony getting the money for this legal dream team? What's the answer?
Well, the prosecution said in their motion that when this first began, Casey didn't have any assets to speak of. Her parents had few assets. So they think the only thing she has of value is her story, is Kaylee's story. And they're speculating that perhaps she has signed the rights to her story over to Jose, saying, I can't afford to pay you, but hey, you can have the rights to the story. You can get your money later.
Okay.
And Mike, there's pictures that we've seen in some of these tabloids and magazines and everything else. They've got to come from somewhere.
Yeah. Guys, hey, hold it. We got to take a quick break. We're coming back with more. We're also going to talk about this new story about who could be Kaylee's father. And we're also going to be dealing with Nadia Suleyman.